The night after being physically attacked in front of my daughter, I thought the worst was over, but I was wrong. On March 29th, I was ambushed um, by the three women, my ex, her mother, and her sister. They surrounded me on the porch, screamed in my face, surrounded me, degraded me, assaulted me in front of my daughter after I just tried to give her a shake, and kept going and literally followed me out to my car as I was going backwards and all the way down the stairs and halfway to the car. All while I watched my daughter clutch her milkshake and cry uncontrollably. This is an intentional attack, not an argument. And we'll get into that because I'm going to share some text before this. It led up to this event. The next afternoon, everything's quiet, no calls, no texts, nothing. This was my visitation time. So uh, out of nowhere, I'm actually feeding my son dinner in his high chair, and my daughter's out messing around playing with her friend, and I get a knock at the front door and look out the window, and it's a sheriff, and my stomach dropped. So I've been abused by sheriffs throughout my entire childhood. So I don't have a good relationship with them. And I had this happen to me as a child um, through my alienation and my abuse. It scared me. I was like, "Hey, what happened? Like, why? What's?" So it put me into a panic. Like, what's going on? So I had no idea why he's there. I opened the door and he said, "Hey, I'm here for a wellness check." I'm like, "What's a wellness check?" He's like, "Well, the kid's mom called and said she wanted me to come by and check on the kids because you weren't answering her text messages and phone calls." And it's like, well, I know there is no text messages or phone calls. Like, I just got abused by her and her family the night before, and leading up to this, she's been harassing me for weeks now about who I'm dating. So I don't even know. I don't even know what that meant. This is my first time ever dealing with this, and again, it's traumatic if you've never done it. And for the people that have gone through this, like, I'm sorry. Like, I understand it's a scary situation, and it shouldn't be, but it's abusive to you and abusive to the kids. And so I asked him. He explained to me. So, and again, I was shocked because it's like, well, there's no communication. There hasn't been anything. So there's been harassment, and that's about it. There's been abuse, and that's about it. So I let him in, and my daughter's laughing and playing with her friend. My son's in his high chair again, eating dinner. Deputy looked around, know exactly what he saw. Both children appeared in good health, no signs of abuse. My son was getting in the high chair being fed. Paisy was dancing around with her friend. So I called back to the kid's mom and told her the same thing. The kids are fine. Oh, nothing no wrong, nothing wrong. And she thanked him, initiating the abuse and then tried to play like she was so thankful that he contacted him. But it was all planned and escalated and it was orchestrated by her. And again, I thought the worst was over, but it's not. That evening, I dropped the kids off at their grandmother's house. Mom was working. And after everything that had happened, I didn't know what to expect anymore. So I started recording every pickup and drop off. When she opened the door, her voice was flat, empty, and you could hear it on this video. Sorry for yelling at you last night. It was like the words are so shallow, so dry after how violent that night was the night before. Three of them screaming, attacking me, abusing me, surrounding me until I was halfway to my car. You can see it in her face. She doesn't apologize often. The words just barely just drag out of her mouth. And it wasn't sincere. It was just like she felt like she had to do it. But the guilt didn't turn into remorse. It turned into damage control. So in their house that night, they were already rewriting what was happening. What would have happened? Our son had a tiny scratch on his lip from falling on a toy, normal for a toddler learning how to walk. She told her mother and sister that the sheriff from earlier said to call CPS again, which is a complete lie. He literally reported everything was fine, no worries. But the lie they gave him, it was, again, it's a cover story for abuse. And this is what they call silver bullets because CPS doesn't know how to investigate. They don't, the simplest things you learn from even Scooby Doo on TV as a kid, that gives you your basic detective skills. And yet none of that is asked, none of that was ever asked. There was no communication, yet she claimed there was communication. And a simple ask from the caseworker would have solved it. But that's how the attack continued. First a physical ambush, then a false police report, false police call for wellness check, then a fabricated CPS report to erase their own guilt. and shifted blame onto me. And that dry, forced apology was the moment it began, the mask of guilt that hides the next lie. A few days later, CPS will contact me, but before we get into that report, I want to rewind a little bit because you need to hear this next video. It's quite crazy. I want to show you the messages leading up to this night, leading up to the abuse, leading up to the silence between us, the proof that there was no communication about the injury, and the concern before the attack. Those are going to be the next ones that we build out. But in her house that night, the next attack was already being planned. Yeah. Together, they called CPS, launching a new investigation that night. This would be the first CPS investigation